This is who I am. These suits, they don't change who you are. And that school, it doesn't change who I am.
Hey, what's up? What's going on, everybody? Happy Labor Day weekend. Another episode of Power is upon us. And this one was freaking jam-packed with amazing awesomeness. I'm so serious. Guys, make sure that you subscribe to this channel. Also, make sure that you share this video with whoever likes to talk about power. Alright, let's go ahead and get right into it. So Kanan is really dead. Like I'm still in disbelief, y'all, but it's like it's real. It's really real. Like I was like, yo, he's gonna come back to life next episode, and it didn't happen. So yeah. I'm like, I guess I have to get over it. Ghost, Tommy, and Tasha, they were all like beefing because he's still upset that she put Tyriq in harm's way. So when Tyriq hears that, he comes out like it wasn't her fault. It was actually my fault. I'm the one who wanted to do this because I knew that he wasn't going to go down easy. So I put myself into this. But of course, he's still upset about the whole situation. And he's just like willing to accept what it is. So Tyriq was being super disrespectful during this little family feud that they was having. And he even went off on Tommy. And I'm like, yo, this dude is being on some next level disrespect. Like now you disrespecting people that you've always been close to, that you've always kind of looked up to, if you want to say that. You know what I mean? Like it was just like you going to the next level. His father had to sun him real quick and kind of grab on his face like, yo, what are you doing? Like, go to your room right now. You need to chill out with all that. Even Tommy looked like he was shocked. Like, he never seen that side of him. At least he's probably kind of heard it or, you know, known that Tyriq was getting a little out of hand. But that right there was something else. And then Tyriq made sure he let him know, like, I was the only one that actually cared for Kanan. Which was kind of bullshit because, as we all know, even though Jaime did what he felt like he had to do when he set him up back in the days, that was like his mentor. That's somebody that he was real cool with. And I think that that's also the reason why that wasn't even a thought as far as who was going to take the hit for this. So this kind of really blindsided him. But at least now, because Tasha said what she had to say, it kind of opens up Tommy's eyes and lets him know that he wasn't really a part of this or whatever. But I think that kind of like hit home for Jaime when he kind of said that. Tyriq tells Ghost when he was bringing him to the school to teach him the motherfucking game. You know, let him know what it is. Teach him. This is in his blood. This is who he is. But James is like, nah, I've done everything in my power to make sure that you don't have to live this life. He's like, regardless of them suits or whatever that you wearing, Pop, this is who you are. And this is what's running through my veins. I need to do this. Like, he just feels like he's this tough guy. Like, dude, you ain't even grow up like this. Like, they did as much as they could to try to shelter you. Now you 16. You think you a man. Like, what are you doing? These kids be doing way too much, I swear. So instead of going on the train like he's supposed to do, when Ghost ends up leaving, he ends up leaving and going wherever the hell he wants to go. And I'm just like, these people are spending all this money for you to go to this elite school, learn all these languages and stuff, and you're not even going. I'm pretty sure they're going to call your father and let him know that you didn't come when you were supposed to come. But I don't know how it really works because it seems like he's been taking off a lot of days anyway, coming back and forth, unless it's not that far upstate. Tamika tells Bianca that she has to kind of let this go because they don't have any like connection for Angela to bring her down. They don't have any proof. So until they do find proof or they can show her something differently, they will need to just kind of like, that's it. Jaime confronts Angela because he feels that she betrayed him, and he's just not really with the fact that she was working with Tasha, didn't tell him anything. And she's like, when your head sprung, like when you are being mad stubborn, nobody can tell you anything. So I had to do what I had to do. And I mean, I don't blame her. It's true. Like what he says has to go. He wants to handle shit his way. And anybody who tries to get in his way, it's a problem. You know what I mean? So they had to be sneaky and do what they had to do. And she's like, this is our fresh start. Now we can start all over again. I mean, she's sprung, honey. She ready. She like, we could start over. And this is it. And he just kind of like brushes her off like, yo, I'll call you later. I'm like, damn, I would have felt hurt. Like, hold up, mother effer. You need to come back here. Don't be leaving like that. You ain't going to be leaving all mad and stuff. But she just let him go, you know. Mock and Sax, they were coming down hard on Teresi because they're like, they want to get Tommy and they want to get him by the end of the week. And they're like, they need him to do what he has to do so they can get him. Later on, they meet with Proctor. I mean, these dudes is going hard. I'm like, yo, what is up with y'all? So they meet up with Proctor, and now they want him to wear a wire while he speaks to James so that they can get some dirt on Angela. And I'm just like, oh, y'all is doing the most. Like, he's not even trying to be doing that. And it goes against, like, everything that he stands for. You know, for him, he prides himself on at least respecting his clients. I mean, he's kind of crooked himself, but he's crooked in the legal way. You know, he tries to do what he can in order, but he gets caught up in the mess. That's the problem. He gets too caught up with his clients. Keisha says that she doesn't really like the fact that she had to lie for Tasha, and she felt like Tasha kind of gave her no choice. She was kind of laying down the law and saying that she wouldn't really do it again, but then when she talks to Tommy, well, she was talking to Tommy about that, and she tells Tommy, but Tommy was like, well, you probably gonna have to do something like that again. You know, like, there's no ifs, and or buts. Like, do you know who you're working with? Like, if you're gonna be with me, you're probably gonna have to lie. And she's like, you know, if it's for you, I would probably make an exceptions because that's something that I would want to do. But I felt like I didn't really have a choice with Tasha. You know, it's almost like, if you either riding with me or you're not, it's either you're going to be my friend or that's it. Like, we done type of thing. It's like she kind of pressured her into it and threw her into the fire. With him, she's doing it because she wants to do it. So she his rider now. She does kind of playfully ask him if he's ever killed anybody, and he kind of like brushes her off when she asks. But I think just by his not answering was just a good enough answer to know, like, oh shit, like, this dude is the real deal. He actually does kill people. It's like, you never killed anybody, though. I know that you move weight and all that. I know you in the game, but you don't kill anybody or anything, right? Yeah, silence. That's admitting it right there. Silence is also an answer. The Jimenez sister, Alicia, she's starting to lose faith in Dre, and now she's kind of like demoted him and gave Cristobal the position. And I feel like, you know, they got that Hispanic connection. No shade to anybody, but I feel like a lot of cultures, Africans, Haitians, Hispanics, they look out for each other. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's exactly what it is. Like, she's looking out for him. She's like, you know what? I want you to be my number one, and this dude could be your follow-up. That's just how it's going to go. You know, and it's kind of messed up. You know what I mean? It's like, damn, dude worked so hard to build his empire, get where he wanted to be. And then all of a sudden, she going to come, take over, and take his empire from him. Like, where they do that at? You know what I mean? That's like on some Americans coming and taking over from the Native Americans, Indians type of thing. Like, come on. Like, what you doing? I built this. You know, like, what's going on here? So that's exactly what happened with that. And Dre did talk to Cristobal. He said he didn't know it was going to happen. And he lets him know, like, yo, we about to get it on and popping. He tells him where he's about to meet him. And, you know, even though Dre kind of was sitting there just smiling, he was plotting in the back of his head. He's like, you know what? I bet. Angela pays Dre a little visit. She wants him to help her to get Alicia. And she knows, you know, kind of puts it out there that she knows what type of person he is. And he's like, well, I know a lot about you and Jaime, and the stuff I know can get you to lose your job. And she's like, well, the stuff that I know about you can get you killed, pretty much, get the chair or the needle, whatever it's called, and your daughter will not have a dad. So, giving him kind of something to think about and put stuff into perspective. James and Tommy, they kind of were like getting into it, and James, he's trying to tell him that he has to watch his father, because it's like every time they talk, he wants Teresi to be standing right there, and he's like, I don't trust him. I don't really want him to be here all the time, and Tommy's just not trying to hear anything that he has to say, so it's like they got this little like riff or whatever, and Tommy's just like, he doesn't trust him regardless of anything. He doesn't feel like he tells him a lot of things. He doesn't trust him. So once trust is shattered in any type of relationship, friendship, whatever, I feel like it's hard to get it back, and you always kind of look at that person a little bit differently. Maybe you can still make moves with them. Maybe you might be able to move forward in the relationship, but I feel like it's just like, it's never the same, you always kind of in the back of your head like, yo, is this dude lying to me? Is this person lying to me? It's just like how they say, once you break a mirrors like trust. Once you break it, no matter how hard or how good you try to put it together, it'll never look the same. It'll never be flawless. Flawless. Dre then goes ahead to pay Angela a visit now at her place of residence. And I'm like, yo, she needs to get some security or get a new building that has security. I mean, I'm pretty sure she makes enough money that all these thugs and dudes can't just be popping up at her place. She needs somebody to like, okay, one moment. Let me call Miss Valdez and let her know that you're here to see her. I mean, that's the type of place that she needs to get, because this ain't really doing it. I'm just saying. I mean, it's really not. And he pays her a little visit, and she tells him that she's going to protect him, and he just needs to give her the drop on Alicia. So he ends up giving her the information and pretty much straight up snitches. Like, she's going to be here. Do what you got to do. And yeah, I'm like, damn, everybody's snitching left and right. Like, nobody's true to the game anymore. True to the game. So it went down just like Cristobal said it would. Like, he was definitely about to get the goodies. Like, he was like all up in there on the bed, like about to take off her clothes. It was in a passionate moment. Them kisses was getting fiery, and you know what I'm saying? But the bad thing about it, I'm just making sure my microphone is on. The bad thing about it is that she gets this phone call. It's like, damn, do I really want to answer this? But I guess because she's the boss, the person in charge, she has to make sure she answers her phone. He's like, no, just leave it. Just leave it. She's like, I have to get it. So she goes ahead and she gets the phone and nobody's there. She's like, hello? ¿Qué pasa? What's up? Hello? And yeah, nothing. She's like, mother. All of a sudden, boom, freeze. Yo, the FBI came through with Angela heading the operation. Yo, I guess that they were trying to ping to see where exactly they were at or something like that. Maybe that's why they called. I mean, it would have been kind of cute if they would have caught him with the D stuck in the poom poom. I think that would have been real funny and cute and like real off guard. But yeah, that was cool too. The way they did it. They didn't want to make it too graphic, like a porn scene or anything like that, right? Angela, she's now the HBIC. She's the boss chick. Everybody is applauding her. She's smiling. She's standing in front of everybody. And she feels like all is forgotten, all is lost. Nobody is really like gunning for her anymore. Everybody's just kind of singing the Angela praise song. And she's, of course, soaking it up. She sees Sax and Mock kind of walking together. And of course, it's kind of suspicious to her because she was supposed to have some kind of deal where Mock was supposed to be her new buddy, because she was giving him the referral to be a boss. But what happened was she like I said, she sees the two of them teamed up, so it's making her feel a little type of funny. So she goes to the office where they came out of, looks at the papers and stuff, takes pictures, and these was pictures of Teresi chilling with them after she goes through all of their files. So she decides, you know what, let me go ahead and talk to Mock real quick, because me and him have built this bond, and we know what we're doing. You know, we have this kind of, I need a friend. He's my friend. He's my inside person. She calls him, yo, what the fuck is going on? Like, what's up? Who's the snitch? And he's like, he tells her straight up, it's Tyriq, Tommy's father. When Tyriq was talking to the boys in black or blue or whatever you want to call them on the phone, Sammy hears that he was kind of protecting Tommy, even though him and Sammy had the conversation where it's like, all right, I'm not really feeling Tommy. Tommy's sloppy and we need to get rid of him. He was all in agreement with it. They both had that little bond, especially for the fact that he almost killed Sammy to save face, you know what I mean, in front of Tommy and pretend like he was trying to save Tommy's life when they got into that little incident or whatever with Vincent. So for him to do that, he felt like real betrayed. And at that moment, they was having an argument. Who comes in? None other than Tommy. So Sammy, I guess he was just like, you know what? F this. I'm over this. I'm about to like just give up everything because I'm done with it. And I'm done with this snitch ass dude that's supposed to be my friend and supposed to have my back, that knew me for years when he just met you. So he's about to like blow up the whole thing. What happens? Straight backstabbing. But he didn't actually stab him in the back. He actually stabbed him in the stomach. But he stabbed him and he just kind of fell. Like that was it. Sammy was done. And the only reason why he really did that was because he knew that he was about to out him. And then he tells Tommy this bogus ass story talking about we found out that he's actually the snitch, so I had to do what I had to do. So Tommy didn't really think too much of it. He's just like, damn, like that's messed up all this time. But he just went along with it, helped him clean up the body and all that, and everything was A-okay. Angela, she meets with Jaime at Truth, and she lets him know that, yeah, I have some information, and we're all fucked if this comes out, so we need to handle it. And she shows him that Tyriq's been working with Mock and Sax. And she's just like, you know, you have to let him know. You have to tell him. He's like, I can't be the one to tell him, but you know what? I'm going to make sure I handle it. Because she's like, you got to do something. And this is where she pretty much messed up. So what he does is he actually goes to Vincent and shows Vincent this information. Vincent didn't seem too concerned. He was just like on some whatever. He didn't really care too much, to be honest, from what he was saying and stuff. But Jaime convinced him that they had to eliminate him, and the best person to do it would be Tommy. Like, he can't tell Tommy because him and Tommy ain't on good terms right now. He's probably not going to believe him, or it's not going to really be as effective. So he wants Vincent to tell him. So Vincent eventually agrees. Vincent tells him, and he did look like he was really devastated by the news when Vincent told him and showed him proof. And he asked him, like, what does this got to do with me? Like, what do you want me to do? He was like, you got to be the one to take him out. He was like, because he's going to put you away, or pretty much either way you're dead. So you need to do what you got to do. You need to handle this situation. Proctor goes to see Jaime, and this was after meeting with Sock and Mac. I like totally flipped up the letters of each of their last names. It's like a tongue twister. Sax and Mock. After he meets up with them and they give him this wire, now he goes to meet up with Jaime in the middle of the day at Truth. And James just like, oh, do you meet with all your clients in the middle of the day? He's like, well, actually, you're not really my client at the moment because you never gave me a retainer. So, yeah. He kind of tells him. Oh, and I think that that's the reason why he mentioned that too. Now that I think about it, now that I'm looking back, he said that you're not my client because you didn't give me the retainer, because he knew that what he was doing would be illegal, especially if that's still his client, because of clients, what is it? Client something privileges, client attorney privileges or something like that. Like they're not supposed to snitch unless under certain circumstances. I think they can. But for the most part, you know, there's certain privileges that they have that they don't have to discuss certain things. But like I was saying, So he starts talking to him, and James is just like, they had a conversation, and he tells him, like, your family. He literally is like, no, like, your family. You know, you came here, this, blah, 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 whatever he said. And I think that kind of struck something, like some kind of nerve in Proctor, because from that moment he started writing, and he's like, what are you doing? Like, what's going on? And he shows him, without mentioning anything, that he's wearing a wire. So it's like kind of preparing him. That way the next questions that he asks him, he knows how to answer them without implementing himself kind of, or throwing himself under the bus or under the fire. He does ask him questions about Angela, which of course he's upset about because he knows that he's wearing a wire. Once he pulls off the wire, turns it off, he's just like, dude. You know, James was like pissed off about it, but he's like, yo, I just helped you out. I just told you. Why would I tell you what's going on? He's like, they're all over me. And soon they're about to come down and put the freaking a vengeance on Angela. And I'm pretty sure she's probably, if it's between her going to jail and you, she's going to throw you away. So you need to think about yourself instead of stop thinking about this magical pussy that she laid on you and just kind of doing what benefits her as opposed to what benefits you, because you're going to end up rotting in jail. I was like, oh shit, Proctor. But I'm like, yo, he's exaggerating. Like, what is he even talking about? I'm like, I don't think it's going to come to that. That's what I was thinking in my head while I was watching this. I'm like, yo, what is he talking about? I'm like, he's just trying to find, because they're so thirsty to find something about her. I'm like, he's just trying to like get that information so that he could be in the clear with his license and everything. Tyriq, he ends up asking Vincent when he actually met up with Vincent, talking about he wants to move. Wait, was it Vincent? It was the Italians, I know. I don't know if it was Vincent. I don't remember. But he met up with the Italians, speaking Italian and all that, and he wants to move the weight that he had when he was with Kanan. And he says he's going to let him do a trial run or whatever and see how it goes and then kind of go from there. He ends up asking him about a fake ID as well, and I guess he hooked him up. So he was able to get an ID that called him Eric Spark and pretend that he was Kanan's son so that he'll be able to get Kanan's ashes. You know, that shows how really connected he was to him and how he's probably really guilty about what he had to do in order to protect himself as well as his family. And I know that was probably hard. This is probably actually what set him off and just kind of tipped him over to the point where he's just on some I don't give an F type of mode, you know? So Tommy, he goes to pick up Teresi and his vibe was like way off. It's like you could already see that things were not gonna go well just by the way he was acting. He asked Teresi again how it was that he got out of the joint, and he was like, yo, you never really told me. So he comes up with his little concoction, his little fake ass story, and Tommy's just like, nah, I checked that out and it doesn't check out. So yeah, I'm gonna ask you again. So he's like pretty much showing that he already knows, and he allows him to at least go see Connie, kind of give her that final goodbye, and he made him feel like he was going to, or the way that he kind of played things out, it was kind of making it seem like he was going to allow Vincent to do the job. When Teresi went to his house to go pick up his bag that had his gun in it, he was, I guess, prepared to go out with a fight. You know what I mean? And little did he know, Tommy was the one that actually was going to be the one to have to pull the trigger. Well, not have to, but he ends up pulling the trigger in the house. Hey, I mean, he just had to do what he had to do. Later on, Tommy did go end up seeing his mother. And the crazy thing about it is that, you know, I think that he went to his mom to be consoled because now, once again, it's just him and her, as it's always been. Even though she's an effed up person, it seems like she genuinely cares about him, even though she's done so much crazy crap to him. I mean, it's your mother at the end of the day, and she's, I guess, never really done him wrong, even though she kind of almost did him wrong when they was asking her all them questions in the interrogation back in like season 2 or whatever. But she's always been there for him, and she kind of like consoles him, which is something that I feel like he kind of needed at that moment. And he kind of just let her know that she was right. Angela gets called into like this emergency meeting, and she's like, I didn't even know we were having a meeting. What's going on? Why isn't anyone saying anything to me? She goes into the meeting, and all of a sudden she's sitting there, and all the people is watching her. All of her, the people that hate her. Bianca's there. Mock is there. Sax is there. Of course, Tamika is the one who called her in. I don't know if there was anybody else in the room. I don't think Robinson was there. Donovan. Was he there? I don't know. But yeah, all of them was there just looking at her. It's like all eyes on you. And they're like, Angela Valdez, you are being whatever for conspiracy. And it's like, oh shit. They're like, you are a member of this criminal organization. And unless you're able to prove otherwise and give us, I guess they want her to give the leader or whatever. Unless you're able to do that, then yeah, you're pretty much getting taken away, ho. It's done. KO. And Mock was like, I gave you the bait and you took it. When you asked me who the snitch was, we told you, and now he's dead. So who did you tell? I was like, oh shit. Oh snap. Things is getting hot and happy. I know the last episode is going to be a twister. And it's going to be one of those like, oh, now I have to wait. I'm going to be so pissed off. But I'm already ready for it. But I know it's coming. I know that shit is going to be explosive. Boom. But yeah, they pretty much got her, son. Like, Bianca was just standing there in the corner, like, gleaming with joy, like, checkmate, ho. Oh, you thought you had me. Okay, Mujera, I'm about to get your job. Like, I don't know if she really want her job, but they ain't really feeling each other. And yeah, they got that fire, both of them, they got that fire in their eyes, and Angela looked like she was about to piss on herself. Like, she looked like she was scared like crazy, And now she about to have a share a jail cell with Alicia or something. I don't know. Is this going to take away from the whole Alicia thing? Like, is it because now they're finding out that she's corrupt? Is this going to affect the whole Alicia case? I wonder. It got me thinking a little something. I don't know though. I don't know. We going to see. But yeah, this is crazy, y'all. So now it's really coming down to the wire. Like, is she going to protect James, or is she going to protect herself? Because I'm pretty sure she ain't cut out for that jail stuff. So we gonna see. Everything's getting crazy, y'all. All right, thanks for watching. See you in the next one. Stay fabulous, live free, and soar limitless. Later.